Is Jordan Love being disrespected in 2026? Welcome in, guys, to another episode of Sounds Gouda. I got a pretty interesting one that I wanted to get into today around the aspect of Jordan Love, what the national media is saying about him, obviously what local pundits are saying about him, and obviously Jordan Love has the support of the local fans, local media, and whatnot, but more than a few different outlets. There's just such a wide range on Jordan Love. I wanted to put some more facts, analysis, merits, narratives behind why I think Jordan Love is being slept on for this year. So, as you can see, I am sharing my screen. In 2025, 3,381 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions with a 101.2 rating. From my standpoint, I thought he had a really, really good season. And I think some outlets put him in the right category. For example, Pro Football Focus puts this as Jordan Love as the 6th best quarterback in 2025. Meanwhile, Yahoo Sports puts him 18th. That's behind Caleb Williams. That's behind Sam Darnold. That's behind Geno Smith. Same quarterback, same film, same 2025 season, 13 spots apart. In my opinion, there's not another quarterback in football that the industry disagrees on this as much and has such a wide variance. And that disagreement to me has a name. I think we're going to call it the disrespect index in today's show. And today we're going to be trying to build it. And like I said, to put some real numbers behind this. So here's every major ranking of Jordan Love this offseason. And I want you to watch the numbers fall as we go. 5, according to NFL.com, Week 18 quarterback ranking, Love cracks the top 5. Pro Football Focus, he gets 6. Between MVP Matthew Stafford, 5, and Justin Herbert, who ranked 7. Pete Crisco, pretty famous guy there on CBS Sports, ranked him a 7. Top 10, pretty comfortably. Mike Clay from ESPN, you might all know him, but back end of the top 10, not too shabby. Benjamin Slowick gives him 11. And ranks Caleb Williams ahead of Love. Love's outside the top 10. Yahoo Sports, obviously, we just showed this, number 18 behind all those players. And Caleb Williams, according to them, is 6th. Sam Darnold is 13th. Geno Smith is 15th. Jordan Love, we're about to show you, who led the entire NFL in the most in quarterback stat that exists, in my opinion, is 18th. That's a 13 spot spread between his best ranking and his worst. Josh Allen spread, 1 or 2 spots at most. Everybody has him top 3. Nobody in football is priced this differently depending on who you ask. That spread to me is the disrespect. So let's try and figure out, just where about that comes from. So the case against. We're definitely not a Cope channel. Here's the anti-Love argument made as honestly as possible. His first year starting, 4,159 passing yards. 2024, passing yards, 3,389. 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. 2025, passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Yahoo's verdict, stagnation. And that's the whole case. Yahoo looked at the line going down and called it what it looks like. Their argument is basically this quarterback is talented, obviously. With this contract, playing for his head coach, should be trending up and not flat. And if the only page of the stat sheet you'll ever read is a volume page, so yards, counting stats, fantasy numbers, that's a reasonable conclusion. But look at what every number in that argument has in common. Yards, 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 and more yards. It's 100% volume stats. Now, volume stats measure how much a quarterback was asked to do. They do not measure how well he did it. And in 2025, the entire gap between how these outlets see Jordan Love comes down to that one distinction. Because when you switch from the volume page to the efficiency page, I think that there's a much different conversation. So what is EPA per dropback? It's expected points added. So quick explainer for all the normal humans watching. Try to keep this as simple as possible. So every down and distance in football is worth a certain number of expected points. First and 10 at midfield is worth about 2. EPA measures how much every single play a quarterback runs moves that number up or down. strips out garbage time, strips out volume, it strips out how many games you played. It is the closest thing to football has to a pure, did this play help you win type of metric. And for Jordan Love in 2025, that was 0.222 EPA per drop. And for all of you wondering, yes, that is the number one in the entire NFL. First among all qualified cornerbacks. Not top five, not quietly efficient, first. So that's ahead of Allen, that's ahead of Lamar Jackson, over ahead of even MVP Matthew Stafford on a per play basis, which is to me the only kind of fair basis that you should be going on. Nobody in football did more with his dropbacks than Jordan Love did last season. EPA isn't a cherry pick, so run the whole modern dashboard, the 6 numbers that actually predict quarterback play. Jordan Love shows up on every single one. So per ESPN on QBR, 72.7, third in the NFL. QBR is ESPN's own all-in-one type of metric. That's their own stat that basically they have for their EPA, and they had him as third, so the third best according to them. Per PFF, passing grade, 88.7. So again, to them, that's top 3 in football. That's graded film, throw by throw. So, not stats. It's all the eyeballs in the world. Wins above replacement, 2.97. You'll notice that as WAR, more of a baseball term, but that's top 3. And that's PFF's estimate of how many wins Love was personally worth versus a replacement level quarterback. Clean pocket grade, 94.2. When the protection holds, he's operating at a near elite ceiling. And notice how I said when the protection holds. Big time throw rate, 5.9%, 5th in the NFL. These are obviously tight window, high difficulty type of throws. He's still a little bit of a gunslinger. Turnover worthy play rate, 2.6, so 9th best. And that, to me, that should generally scare the rest of the NFC North. 5th in big time throws and top 10 in avoiding turnover worthy plays. Aggressive and clean is what that means to me. Quarterbacks are almost always one or the other. So now let's take another wrong fact or myth about Jordan Love that I wanted to get out here too, though. Ball security. So talented but mistake prone. Let's kill that here. 11 interceptions in 2023, 11 interceptions in 2024, 6 interceptions in 2025 on 439 attempts, a 1.4% interception rate, a 3.8-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio while playing 5th in big time throws. So he didn't get conservative. To me, he got surgical. I mean, there's a lot of context to that, though, too. I mean, he did have thumb surgery in August in training camp, played through it all season, missed 2+ games. That was Malik Willis time. That kind of alone explains most of the yardage decline. Obviously, week 9, Tucker Kraft had the torn ACL, one of his most dynamic, if not his best weapon, missed for the entire second half. And, let's do the honest math instead. 3,381 yards in 15 games. So that's over 225 a game at 7.7 yards per attempt, with the best ball security of his career behind an offense that leaned on the run and a play caller. And let's be honest here, guys, did not have his best year last year. So the yards didn't decline because Jordan Love declined. The yards declined because the opportunities declined. So to me, volume measures the situation, efficiency measures the player. And by efficiency, I think Jordan Love was easily the best in football. So here's why the volume stats lie, in my opinion. 2 pages of the stat sheet, so 2 completely different players. On a volume efficiency page, 13th in yards, tied for 14th in touchdowns. So obviously measures opportunity, games played, attempts, game script. Efficiency page, first in EPA/dropback, third in QBR, top 3 PFF grade. Measures the player, what he did with each play that he ended up getting. Yahoo graded a 2025 season with a 2006 stat sheet. That's the entire disrespect index basically in one sentence. So what can we actually build here? And how can we take this moving forward? Take what the metrics say, number 1 in EPA per dropback, third in QBR, top 3 in PFF grade at WAR, blend it, and the metrics case says Jordan Love is roughly a top 3 quarterback. Take the market average for all the analyst rankings we just showed you, and the consensus lands around 9th or 10th. Metrics say 3, market says 10, so disrespect score is +7 on this. No other top quarterback carries a gap anywhere near that, in my opinion, and why I wanted to put some interesting facts, stats, and data into what I think is the highest variance for a quarterback throughout the league. And to me, why I think the market is obviously mispricing Jordan Love. Just for a recap, best per play quarterback in football. So hurt, shorthanded, and a down year for the offense. Kraft is going to return golden year two, efficiency plus volume equals list rewrite. So if the volume shows up, every ranking you saw today gets torn up by December. And why I think that Jordan Love is going to have an absolute outlier type of year and where he gets into the MVP conversation, both in volume and efficiency rankings, and gets a lot more respect from the national media. And that variance, that line for those metrics, and even the narratives closes from here, significantly closes down a lot more. So that is all that I have for you today, Packers fans. Drop your love ranking in the comments. One number, 1 to 18. And be honest about it too. Where do you think he falls in volume? Where do you think it falls in efficiencies? And how do you think that he can close the gap to become an MVP candidate for this next year? Let us know in the comments below. We love building a really great community with you all. And we hope that you all have a great 4th of July. Have a Gouda morning, a Gouda afternoon, and a Gouda night. Take care. Go Pack Go.